Okay, let's dive into this. For millions of hardworking parents in this country, payday isn't just about paying the local rent or, putting food on the table. It's absolutely about survival for the family waiting back home. But here's the thing. In 2026, the rules around sending that hard-earned money to your family have quietly yet drastically changed. Today, we're going to unpack a set of federal regulations that have essentially turned everyday remittance behaviors into severe legal risks. We're going to look strictly at the facts, break down the exact laws you need to know, and most importantly, build a protective shield around your family's finances. To really grasp the urgency of this, consider a parent like Rosario, working 2 jobs out in Houston. Every couple of weeks, she stands in line at a local grocery store to wire money to her 71-year-old mother down in Guadalajara for rent and medicine. She gives up vacations, new clothes, even sleep, pouring every spare dollar into that envelope. It's a pure act of love, right? Yet Rosario is entirely unaware that there are now 3 invisible federal tripwires she's about to cross. These are rules that most people sending money home have literally never heard of, but crossing them, that can accidentally trigger devastating federal investigations. Because, well, here's the harsh reality we have to face. The federal government investigates transactions, not intentions. While your intent is pure love and responsibility for your family, the law only sees data. And in 2026, a brand new reality has emerged. There's now an active data sharing agreement between the IRS, the Treasury Department, and Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. This means that an innocent financial mistake at the wire transfer counter isn't just a banking issue anymore. It can instantly become an immigration issue. Now, I know that sounds incredibly stressful, but stick with me because we're going to map out exactly how to stay safe. Throughout this explainer, we'll untangle these scary laws one by one to make sure you have the exact knowledge you need to protect your family completely. So here is our roadmap to protecting your family. We'll cover the hidden trap, the $10,000 rule, the crime of structuring, foreign accounts and taxes, your protection plan, and finally, a strict documentation checklist. Moving right along to Section 1, the hidden financial trap and financial enforcement in 2026. Now, what's really interesting about this is how quietly the enforcement environment actually shifted. The federal government has always watched money transfers, sure, but in 2026, they began utilizing a coordinated financial dragnet targeting ordinary immigrant families who had absolutely zero criminal intent. The danger actually isn't the act of sending money itself. Sending legally earned money to your family is perfectly legal. The hidden trap is the failure to comply with strict reporting rules in this newly interconnected federal system. Financial info that reaches agencies like the Treasury Department can now easily find pathways straight to immigration authorities. So doing the right thing in the wrong way is exactly what creates the exposure. That brings us to Section 2, the $10,000 rule under the Bank Secrecy Act. Here's how it works. Any cash transaction, whether it's a wire transfer, a money order, or a cash deposit, that hits exactly $10,000 or more in a single business day automatically triggers a report by the financial institution to the federal government. But here is the absolutely critical reassurance for parents sending large sums. Triggering this report is perfectly legal. It is totally harmless. You don't even file it. The bank does it for you. Sending $10,000 in cash is not a crime, and having this report filed on you does not hurt you in any way. Okay, let's look at Section 3, the crime of structuring, which is a federal felony. Now, the way people react to that $10,000 threshold brings us to the single most dangerous misconception immigrant communities hold today. We absolutely have to shatter a massive myth right now. A lot of people assume that by keeping their wire transfers under $10,000, they're staying safe and invisible. For example, instead of sending $12,000 all at once, a parent might send $4,000 on Monday, another $4,000 on Wednesday, and $4,000 on Friday. Under federal law, deliberately breaking up a payment specifically to avoid that automatic reporting is a crime called structuring. Banks are highly trained to spot this exact pattern, and it instantly triggers a suspicious activity report that federal agencies, including ICE, can access. So the crucial point is this. Structuring clean, legally earned money is a severe federal felony on its own, completely regardless of your good intentions. Even if every single dollar is honest money meant to buy your mother medicine, breaking it up just to avoid the bank's paperwork is a crime, punishable by up to 5 years in federal prison, massive fines, and devastating immigration consequences, including deportation. The law simply doesn't care why you did it. The pattern of your transactions is what they prosecute. Moving to Section 4, Foreign Accounts, the FBAR, and New Taxes. Beyond outbound remittances, we really need to look at what you hold overseas and how exactly you're funding your transfers, because 2 massive updates hit in 2026. First up is the FBAR rule. Imagine a man named Babatunde in Atlanta. He has a green card, and he has a savings account back in Nigeria that his parents originally opened for him. At one point during the year, that account briefly held $14,000. Under FBAR rules, if the combined value of your foreign accounts exceeds $10,000 for even a single day in the year, you must report it to the U.S. government or face massive fines. Second, the government introduced a brand new 1% remittance excise tax on outbound money transfers. And this brilliantly illustrates why the details of this new law matter enormously, because there's actually a simple way to legally outsmart it. That new 1% tax applies only to transfers funded with physical cash, money orders, or cashier's checks. It completely exempts transfers funded by bank accounts, debit cards, or digital wallets. So if you walk into a store with $1,000 in physical cash to send home, you're paying the tax. But if you use an app on your phone linked to your debit card to send that exact same amount, you pay zero tax. Let's get into Section 5, your legal protection plan to shield your finances. We've covered the traps, the rules, and the new taxes. Now let's pivot and empower you. If you're a parent sending money home, these 4 steps are your armor. Step 1, never structure. If you need to send over $10,000, do it in one single transaction and just let the bank file their report. Step 2, switch immediately to digital platforms like Wise, the Western Union app, or Venmo linked to a bank account. It legally avoids that remittance tax completely. Step 3, check your foreign accounts and file your FBAR if you hit the threshold. And Step 4, if you ever receive any inquiry from the IRS or federal authorities, do not try to explain it yourself. Reach out and consult a tax or immigration attorney immediately. And finally, Section 6, how to document everything and keep meticulous records. Let's move on and see how this builds your defense. In this current enforcement environment, assuming you're safe just because you're quiet is honestly dangerous. Silence is not protection. Thorough compliance and strict documentation are your ultimate defense. You need to keep meticulous records of every single transfer for at least 7 years. You absolutely must log the exact date, the exact amount, the recipient's details, your transfer method, and the confirmation number. Why? Because in any future immigration proceeding, a clean, thoroughly documented financial history proves your money was earned and sent legally. It completely removes all doubt and stops federal investigators from making negative assumptions about your financial life. When we step back and look at the big picture of these 2026 rules, this is the most vital takeaway. The act of supporting your parents or your children across borders is deeply honorable. It really is. But in federal court, love and responsibility are not valid legal defenses. The government has constructed a legal framework where acting purely out of love, but doing it incorrectly, is literally a crime. Knowing the rules, avoiding structuring, and documenting your legal money, that is exactly how you keep your American dream intact. So ask yourself this, is the way you're sending money today building a future or unknowingly setting a trap? You now have the knowledge that no bank and no government agency is offering upfront. Please share this explainer with your community, your WhatsApp groups, your church, and your family before the federal government starts asking questions. Protect your hard work, protect your loved ones, and ensure the money you sacrifice so much to earn remains a blessing and never a liability.